This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are starting. Chadurmukha samarambham Vagbhadacharya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ragadirogan Satatanushaktan Sheshakaya Prasrudan Sheshan Aulsukyamoha Aradidan Jaghana Yo Purva Vaidyaya Namostu Tasmai. Namaskaram to all. So today we will be seeing the rest of the maybe a few slokas in the remaining portion of Rasbhediyam. We just started with a couple of initial slokas. Now we will see the Rasalakshana as explained in the text goes like this. Unlike the many complex ideas that we were discussing in our previous chapter, Drivyadi Vijnaniyam, here I think initially it is somewhat direct statements, somewhat simple observations. So I think we can move a little bit faster. So we start with the Rasalakshanas. Tesham vidyadrasam swadum yo vaktram anulimbati aswadyamano dehasya hladanoksha priya pipiligadinam tesham vidyad rasam swadum yaha vaktram anulimpati आस्वाद्यमानः ह्लादन देहस्य ह्लादनः अक्षप्रसादनः प्रियः पिपीलिकादीनाम्. So here we find the lakshana of Madhura rasa. Among the 6 rasas, tesham rasanam madhye, among the 6 rasas what we were explaining in the beginning, Shmambho, Gnikshmambuteja, Dhavayu, Agni, Anilago, Nilaihi, Dvayolbanaihi, Pramadbhudaihi, Madhuradi Rasodhava. Among these rasas, first rasa, Swadu, Aswadyamanaha Yaha, Aswadyamanaha, tasted, the one when tasted, Vaktram Anulimbadi, Vaktram Anulimbadi, Anulimbadi or Upalimbadi. In Sangram we will find it as Upa. Vaktram, Mukha or the mouth, oral cavity. So when tasted, one rasa which causes Upaleva in the oral cavity, Mukha, Vaktram. Upalepam generally because of the Paichilium, it sticks to the oral cavity. That taste, whatever we are going to mention, that sticks to the oral cavity. Mukhamu anulimbati. Then what else? Dehasya hladanaha. Dehasya Hladana. Hladana Prahladana. Something which creates some sort of a priyatva, feeling very happy, very pleasing. Dehasya Hladana. As far as the entire body is concerned, it is like that, no? When you are tasting something, even though the sense of taste is confined to the tongue, its reflection is all throughout the body, isn't it? It is not limited to the tongue alone or the mouth alone. Its reflection will be all over the body. So a particular rasa which we are going to define, when tasted, that causes the sort of prahladanam all over the body, everywhere. Dehasya hladana. And aksha prasadana. Aksha prasadana. Aksha means indriya. So it is indriya prasadanam. Indriya prasadanam. What is prasadanam? Prasadanam means it is some sort of a cleansing by the which is understood or perceived by their capacity or their enthusiasm or their caliber to do their work or job or whatever it is. So all, it is not limited to again the rasanendriyam. This particular rasa, when consumed, has got the capacity to make all the indriyas, all the sense organs very clear in their perception or their delivering their duties as indriyas. Aksha prasadana. Then what else? What else can be used as the mark of this particular rasa? Priyaha pipiligadinam priyaha cha. So that rasa which is having these properties like yaha aswadyamanaha vaktram anulimbadi, yaha aswadyamanaha dehasya hladanaha aksha prasadanaha. Apart and above all these things, yaha pipiligadinam priyaha tam rasam swadum vidyad. That rasa should be understood as, identified as swadu, madhura. So that is why should we define all these things? Is it that important? Is it such a complex idea that what we are going to explain here? May not be, but it is a routine exercise. It is something like, see, we are dividing the whole spectrum of rasas into 6. But when we look at our personal experience, we can understand that types of rasas. For maybe if you take a few examples of fruits, mango is having one rasa, then anar is having another rasa, then maybe some other berry will be having another rasa. So all the rasas are distinctively different. Taking and eating and tasting an orange, nobody will suspect this is tasting like mango. No, it's not possible. It is orange. Or reverse also. Tasting a mango, nobody is going to say that, okay, this is tasting like orange. So they are distinctively different. So if we look at that way, I think we can find that there are innumerable types of rasas. Each rasa is unique. Then how could you say that there are only 6 rasas? So that 6 is based on some sort of a generalization. Samanya vatkaranam. Samanya vatkaranam. So what is the basis of that generalizing of the rasas, or categorizing of rasas into 6? Then we find that in spite of their unique nature, there are some similarities which enables us to divide the whole spectrum of diverse rasas into 6 categories. That is the logic behind it. So with this classification, we are establishing, we are ascertaining that there are only 6 rasas. So that rasa, maybe let it be from mango, let it be from orange, let it be from anar, let it be from sugar, let it be from jaggery, whatever it is. If it is having these features like yaha vaktram anulimbadi, dehasya hladanaha, akshaprasadanaha, and pipiligadinam priyaha, then we take them all together into one class, and they are labeled under one name, they are put under one common label. These are all different types of the same rasa, and that rasa is known as madhura. Tam rasam swadum vidyad. That is the interest behind it. So we find many points. If we go to Ashtanga Sangraha, we will find the same thing but explained in a maybe a bit lucid way. Tesham swaduhu aswadyamanaha mukhamupalimbadi indriyani prasadayadi deham prahladayadi षट्पद पिपीलिगादीनाम अपि इष्टतमः. षट्पद पिपीलिगादीनाम अपि इष्टतमः. That is how Sangraha explains the lakshana of Madhura Rasa. Now we go move to the Amla Rasa. Amla kshalayate mukham harishano roma dandanam akshibhruva nikojanaha. Amla kshalayate mukham harshano roma dandanam akshibhruva nikojanaha. Amlaha mukham kshalayate. Amlaha rasaha mukham kshalayate. Mukham kshalayate. Kshalayate has got can have multiple meanings. Prakshalayate, that is how Hemadri prefers to explain it. Prakshalayate, it cleans the oral cavity or the mukham as if it is washed. Prakshalanam, rinsed with water and made clean. Whereas Sravayati, kshalayate, sravayati. So that means there will be watering. There will be watering, profuse watering in the mukham. Sangraha explains it in that way. Mukham sravayati. So I think that kshalayate may be considered as sravayati. Mouth. Kshalayate mukham. Then Romadandanam harshanaha. Romadandanam harshanaha. Harshanam. Harshanam. It is very commonly used word, even in the common language. Not a technical sense, but even in the common spoken language, it is used very often, like Dandaharsham and Romaharsham. Dandaharsham and Romaharsham. Romaharshanaha Romanjakaraha. Romanjakaraha. Dandaharshanaha Dandakaryakshamattvakrit. Dandaharsham at one point can be explained as a vyadhi itself. So it is something like an issue of some hypersensitive. This the sour taste, that is another interesting thing. Then heat or cold, all these things are difficult to tolerate when you have the sense of Dandaharsham. Roma Harsham, Romanjam. So Amla can cause Romaharsham as well as Dandaharsham. Then Akshibhruva Nikojanaha. Akshibhruva, Akshinicha Bhru. Eyes. Bhruvau, eyebrows. So it is causing Nikojanam. Nikojanam of Akshi and Bhru. Nikojanam is Sankojanam. Sankochayati. So we when the Lakshana of Amla includes its capacity to cause the tight closure of eyes when it is aswadhyamanaha. When it is tasted, there is a tendency that this eyes are closed tightly, and there may be bowing or some sort of a sankochanam of the akshibhruvau, eyebrows as well. So that is also included as a lakshana of amla rasa. So there may be different sources or different dravyas having amla rasa. All can be specific and unique, but at the same time, all these types of experience, and that common thread enables us to call or bring them all together under the label of amlarasam. Amlaha kshalayate mukham harshano roma dandanam akshibhruva nikojanaha. Then lavanarasam. Lavana Syandayatyasya. In Ashtanga Sangraham about the Amla Rasa, we find Amlastu Jihvam Udvejayati. Amlastu Jihvam Udvejayati, which is not included in Ashtanga Hridaya. Urah Kandham cha Vidahati. That is also an additional point which is not there in Ashtanga Hridayam. Urah Kandham cha Vidahadi. Vidahadi causing Vidaha. Some Amlata is always connected in our literature with the word called Vidaha. In our Annapajanam, Avasthapagam, in the second stage, we find this, isn't it? That Vidagthada. And when it is Vidagtha, it attains a stage of Amlata also. Vidagtham Amlam. So here urakandham cha vidahati. So the reflection of that feeling, some sort of a burning feeling in the uras and kandham. That is one lakshana of amlarasa. Mukham sravayati, akshibhruvam sankojayati, dasanan harshayati, romani cha. That is how it is explained in Ashtanga Sangraha. Jihvam udvejayati. We find this udvejanam actually is a feeling which is somewhat related to the word udvegam. It is quite shows some sort of an asahyata, intolerance, or in some other sense its meaning is it's frightening. Even it is frightening, udvejayati. So that way we can imagine when we know that okay, this is very sour, the way in which we are going to touch our tip of our tongue to that object is with a lot of hesitance, how it will be feeling when tasted. That is the udvegam behind it. So jihvam udvejayadi urakandham cha vidahati. These 2 points we find additionally in Ashtanga Sangraha. Coming to Lavanam, Lavanaha Syandayatyasya. Lavanaha Syandayatyasya Kapola Galadahakrit. Kapola Galadahakrit. Lavanaha Aswadyamanaha. When tasted, a rasa asyam syandayadi, asyam syandayadi kapola gala dahakrit cha. Kapola dahakrit. Kapola dahakrit. Kapolam is the cheeks. So inside the cheeks there is a burning sensation. Daham. Gala dahakrit. There is daham in the galam as well, in the kandham. So that is one lakshana of lavana. So I think you see lavanam here is given as kapola galadahakrit. In amlam, in Ashtanga Sangraham, we found urakandham cha vidahati. That sthana visheshas are all very interesting observations. Whether somebody is experiencing it or not, I think that should be checked. We ourselves should try it and get because these things basically all these things, especially when these are documentation of observations, I think we need not bother very much about the textual descriptions. Instead, we should get into experiencing it. We should feel, we should take a piece of lavanam, taste it and understand what is the lakshana of lavana. Try different types of lavana and find out what is the common thread that is connecting these different types of lavanas. Then in Ashtanga Sangraham we find lavanaha mukham vishyandayadi, syandayadi. That means again there is that salivation. There is excessive salivation, watering in the mouth. Then kandha kapolam vidahadi. That is there in the Ashtanga Hridayam also. Annam in the Ashtanga Sangraha, which is interesting. Annam prarojayadi. Prarojayadi gives taste, adds taste to the annam. In ahara dravya, in any type of ahara dravya, lavana is primarily used as a prarojaga dravya. That adds, it's a taste to that particular stuff. So annam prarojayati is given as a lakshana. Actually, see, in most of the situations, this amlam and lavanam, even kadu, what we are going to see later, are all used as prarojaga dravyas mainly. isn't it? We have Amla Bhalam, but we hardly find any Lavana Bhalam. So Lavanam exclusively is used in our food as a Prarojaka Dravya, isn't it? That is also our experience. Now coming to Tikta, generally I think very rarely we use Tikta Dravyas as Ahar. So I think attempt to taste and feel and understand what is selection of Tikta. Here we find Tikto Vishadayatyasya Rasanam Pradihandi cha. Rasanam Pradihandi cha. Tikto Vishadayatyasya Rasanam Pradihandi cha. Tiktaha Asyam Vishadayati. Tiktaha Asyam Vishadayati. Vishadayati means it removes the Paichilyam. Due to the Paichilyam, we found that there can be Upadeham or Upalepam. In the case of Madhura, we found Yaha Vaktram Anulimbadi. It is because of its Pichilata. It is Bhumijala Pradhana. Here coming to Tikta, it is Vayu Agasha Pradhana. So extreme opposite. So what happens? It removes that Pichilata. So when that Pichilata is removed, the sort of lightness and cleanliness or that feeling what you are having inside your mouth, that is known as the Vaishadhyam. Vaishadhyam. That is the Vishadayata. Vishadayati. Apaichilyam karodi. Apaichilyam. That is the experience. Tikto Vishadayati asyam. Meantime, Rasanam Pradihandicha. Rasanam Pradihandi. Pradihandi means, Arunadatta explains, Anya Rasa Grahana Shaktim Nashayadi. When you have tasted Tikta Rasa, and immediately if you try some other rasa, you will not get the proper sense of that new rasa, that rasa which you are trying now. It is not possible. So what happens? It is explained as rasanam pradiham, temporary, but at least temporarily that deactivates the rasanendriya, deactivates the rasanendriya. Rasanam pradihandi. That is Tikta rasa. So a rasa which tasted is causing apaichilyata in the mukham or mouth, meantime deactivating the very sense of all other taste, or it is technically called as Tiktam. In Ashtanga Sangraham we find Tiktaha Vishadayadi Vadanam Vishodhayadi Kandham. That is an additional point. Kandham Vishodhayadi makes Shuddha. Kandha Shuddhim Karodi. Tiktam Kandha Shuddhim Karodi. Tiktam we can find, see, because of this Kandha Shodhanam and Apaichilya Karatvam, we can find in our Dinacharya that while we are selecting something for the Danda Dhavanam, Kashaya Kadutiktakam, we opt for Tikta. Tikta is one among the options because it has got this Apaichilya Karatvam and Kandha Vishodhanatvam cha. Then Pradihandi Rasanam. Rasanam. We move to Kadu Rasa. Kadu. What is Kadu Rasa Lakshana? Udvejayadi Jihvagram Kurvam Chimichimam Kadu. Sravayati Akshinasasyam Kapolau Dahadivacha. kapolau dahati vacha. Udvejayadi jihvagram kurvam chimichimam kadu. Sravayati akshinasa asyam kapolau dahati vacha. Jihvagram udvejayadi. Jihvagram udvejayati. We saw the same explanation for Amla Rasa in Ashtanga Sangraha. Amlastu jihvam udvejayati. But here it is jihva agram, the tip of the jihva. Jihva agram udvejayati. Udvejayati. Sense which makes some sort of a intolerable feeling. Asahyata. That is udve, or which the literary meaning is frightening. Something which frightens the jihvagram because of its power. Jihvagram udvejayati aswadhyamanaha. Then chimichimam kurvan. Chimichimam kurvan. Chimichimayanam. It is something like a feeling of some pins and needles on the tip of the jihva. Feeling of some pins and needles. Arunadatta comments, Dahana Jwala Samsparshadi Vad. Jwalana, Dahana Jwala Samsparshadi Vad. So that sort of a feeling, as if there is a, we have touched a burning fire with the tip of our tongue. That sort of a feeling. That shows the art. Something is happening with my audio connection. I think I was disconnected with my audio in between. Now it looks fine. Okay. So, udvejayati jihvagram kurvam chimichimam kadu sravayatyaakshi nasasyam. Sravayatyaakshi nasasyam. Sravayati. There is watering. There is watering of akshi, nasa, asya. All these areas, from all these areas, there is Sravana, Sravayati, Sravayatyaakshi nasasyam, and Kapola, Kapolau dahati vacha, Kapolau, Kapolam, the cheeks, Gandam, inside. Sorry, I'm losing my audio connection very frequently. I do not know what is happening. Let me check for a minute. Sorry for that. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. So, kapolau dahadi vacha. There will be the feeling of daham, in the kapolam. So I think the same thing we are finding in different situations. We saw something like urakandham, lavana, and now here we find this kapolau dahadi vacha. Kapolau dahadi vacha. So these three are the Agneya rasas. These three are the Agneya rasas. So obviously that shows that Agneya, that shows with various types of experience of Daha. In Ashtanga Sangraha, we find it in a little bit different way, but that makes a lot of sense actually. See, it goes like this. Kadukaha Bhrisham udvejayati jihvagram. So there is one bhrishata, bhrisham udvejayati. It is not something a normal type of udvegam, but bhrisham udvejayati. So comparatively, I think the feeling may be severe than Amla and Lavana in this context. Immediate also. Then chimichimayadi kandha kapolam. Some as if some chimichimayanam, some pins and needles, or some ants biting on the tip and crawling over there. So that sort of a feeling. Then Sravayadi Mukha Akshinasigam, that we saw in Hridaya also. Next is Vidahadi Deham. Vidahadi Deham. So it is not just about the Kandha Kapolam or something, or Kapolam alone, but Vidahadi Deham. The entire Deham will have that feeling of Daham. That is the interesting part in that we find in Ashtanga Sangraha. Now coming to the next rasa, that means Kashaya rasa Lakshana, we find Kashayo Jadaye Jihvam. Kashayo Jadaye Jihvam Kandhasrodo Vibandhakrit. Kandhasrodo Vibandhakrit. Kashayo Jadaye Jihvam Kandhasrodo Vibandhakrit. Kashayah Jihvam Jadayed. Kashayah Jihvam Jadayed. Jadayed. Jadam is actually a dead body. So as if it is not working. Jihvam Jadayed. Again, this is not permanent, but temporarily there is some sort of a frozen feeling. Jadada is actually a frozen feeling as well. So temporarily, while you taste this Kashaya rasa, the rasanendriyam becomes some sort of a Jada samana, Jadayed. So that is a feeling or the lakshana of Kashaya rasa. But at the same time, it has got additional property. What is that? Kandhasrodo vibandhakrit. In the expression Sangraha, we found that okay, Kandham Vishodhayati. Instead, here we find Kandhasrodo Vibandhakrit. The Kandhasrodas will have Vibandham, Rodham, as if it is stuck, obstructed, causing Swasadinam Ayadha Pravrttimiva Kurude Ityarthaha. Swasadinam Ayadha Pravrttimiva Kurude. That is the experience, as if there is an obstruction in the Kantha. So Tikta and Kashaya. Actually, it is very difficult many a times if you are not very keen in normal sense. The public, the layman may not be identifying even which is Tikta and which is Kashaya. That is very interesting. Say if you ask, have you felt Kashaya rasa? I think many times what they point out will be Tikta Rasa. So it is very difficult in the common man's language to identify Tikta and Kashaya. But interestingly, this is a very valid point. Tiktam is Kandha Shodhanam, whereas Kashayam is Kandha Srodo Vibandhakaram. So that may be a interesting observation. Then Kandha Srodo in Ashtanga Sangraham, what we find Kashayastu Jadayadi Jihwam Badhnadi Kandham. So it causes some sort of a pressure effect in the hriddesha. It does not mean on the muscular heart as such, but in the hriddesham it causes a pressure effect. Pidanam, pidayadi hridayam, hridayam pidayadi cha. So we get the lakshanas of the 6 rasas what we were discussing. Tesham vidyadrasam swadum yo vaktram anulimbadi aswadyamanaha dehasya hladanoksha prasadanaha priyah pipiligadinam amla akshibhruva nikosanaha lavana syandayatyasya kapola galadahakrit tikto vishadayatyasya rasanam pradihandicha udvejayadi jihvagram kurvam chimichimam kadu sravayatyaksi nasasyam kapolau dahadivacha kashayo jadaye jihvam kandhasrodo vibandhakrut. Then concluding rasanam iti rupani. Rasanam iti rupani. Rupani rupam lakshanam. So rasadinam, sorry, madhuradinam rasanam iti lakshanani samaptani. Thus concludes the lakshanas of. So with these explanations, actually the text or the author is making the entire spectrum of dravyas into 6 categories based on their rasa. Then what next? Karmani. That is more important. Karmani. What are the karma of the 6 rasas individually of each rasa? Karmani continues. Madhuro rasaha ajanma satmyad kurude dhadunam prabalam balam. Ajanma satmyad kurude dhadunam prabalam balam. Bala vruddha kshatakshina varna keshendriya ojasam prashasto brahmana kandhyaha stanya sandhanakrit guru ayushyo जीवन स्निग्धः पित्तानिल विशापः आजन्म सात्म्यात् कुरुदे मधुरो रसः आजन्म सात्म्यात् कुरुदे धातूनां प्रबलं बलम्. मधुरः रसः. We are going to explain the karma. Why karma? To identify the rasa, the lakshana, rasa lakshana is enough. Rasyade, aswadyade, rasanartho rasaha. All these things are enough. Then why should we go for the karma? Because karma jnanam is the most important aspect as far as Vaidya is concerned. As a tool, rasa is becoming relevant when the karma is understood. An information about the rasa is not sufficient to get the advantage. You should use it, and that dravya should work something. Then only it is becoming a tool for a Vaidya. So, Madhuro Rasaha Ajanma Satmyad. Ajanma Janma Prabhudi Dehasya Satmi. Very first thing after birth, what is going to be consumed is a Madhura Rasadravya. Is a Madhura Rasadravya. Let it be the Navanidam in that way or the Stanyam in this way. Any case, it is Madhura Rasa. So, from the very time of birth, Madhuram is Satmyam for any individual. Ajanma Satmyad Madhuraha Rasaha Dhadunam Balam Kurude. Dhadunam Balam Kurude. Not ordinary Balam, Prabalam Balam Kurude. That Prabalam gives an extra emphasis on Balam. An extraordinary Balam is provided. Then Bala Vruddha Kshatakshina Varna Kesha Indriya Ojasam Prashastaha. Bala Vruddha Kshatakshina Varna Kesha Indriya Ojasam Prashastaha. It is Prashastaha. Prakarshena. It is extremely good. Prashastaha for Bala. Asambhurna Dhadu. Asambhurna Dhadutvam is the characteristic of Bala. So for Bala, Madhura Rasa is very Prashastaha because it is Prithvi Jala Bhuishtham. So Vrithaha is Jarjara Deha, Jarjarida Dhatu, Kshina Dhatu. For such a person, again, this Madhura Rasa, of course, this has become, I think, a textual information only, because these days most of the Vrithas, before that they reach that stage of that Vardhakyam or Vruddhada, they are becoming, the victims of many diseases like Prameha, where Madhura is restricted. It is an unfortunate thing, but a truth. So, Vrittha, otherwise in normal case, it is Prashasta. Then, Kshatakshina. In Kshatakshina Rogavastha, which is basically a Vata Pitta predominant condition, Madhura Rasaha is Prashasta. For Varnam, for Kesham, for Indriyam, for their Balam, for Varnam, Prakarsha Varnata, for Kesham, for proper health of the Kesham, Indriyam, Indriya Prasadana, we have seen it. Ojas, for increasing the Ojas, Mathura is Prashastaha. Prashastaha, Brahmanaha. It is Brahmana. It brings Brihatvam for Sharira. Brahmanam. Yad Brihatvaya Dehasya. So that adds the bulk. Brahmanaha. Kandhyaha. Kandhahitam. Kandhyam. It is good for the throat. Kandham. So that will be reflecting in the quality of sound, quality of speech, everything. Stanya Sandhana Krit. It is Stanya Krit. So it has got, actually Stanyam is a special derivative of Rasadhatu. When it is needed. So I think Madhura Rasa can promote that change, that transformation of Rasadhatu to Stanya. So it is becoming Stanyakrit. It is Sandhanakrit. It is Sandhanakrit. Sandhanam stands for joining, bringing things together. Sandhanam. So there are many things in Asti, Bhangam, or in Vranam, Kshatam. In all these situations, this Shleshanam, actually Sandhanam is Shleshanam, keeping things together. So this Madhura Rasa is having that property of Sandhanam. So it is Sandhanakrit. And Guru, it is having of Guru Guna. It is of Guru Guna. Obviously, I think the major ingredient or the constituents of Madhura Rasa Dravya will be Prithvi and Jala, which are supposed to be the Bhudas having Guru Guna. So obviously, Madhura Rasa also will be Guru. Then it is Ayushya. It is Ayushya, Ayushyam, Ayushyani, Anayushyani cha Dravya Guna Karmani Vedayadi Idi Ayurveda. In the very definition of Ayurveda itself, we find this word Ayushyam, something which is good for Ayushyam. Then Jivanam, Jivanam. So many times we can find the authors or the commentators trying to explain these two words because they are very close. No, Jivanam means something which sustains the life, and as long as the life is sustained, I think you are having the Ayus. So why should we separate this Ayushyam and Jivanam as two separate terms? Why don't we consider them as one and the same? So I think we can find certain beautiful, some interesting explanations. For example, Arunadatta explains, Ayushyaha saha utsyadeyaha aparimidayushaha hitaha adhigayushaha hedutvad. So Ayushyam is something which adds more life. Whereas Maryadam anubadhnadi sa jivayati jivana. So that Ayushyaha is something which adds more life, whereas Jivana ensures the experience of that Niyada Ayus, the prescribed Ayus. Ayushyam is something about adding more Ayus. That is how Arunadatta explains it. Whereas we find Hemadri explaining it as Ayushyaha Ayurvriddhikaraha Jivanaha Murcha Adhiharaha. Murcha Adhiharaha. Something which can relieve the person out of the conditions like murcha or moham, sannyasam, that sort of conditions. They are known as that jivana. I think many a times the lack of precision in explaining these words, that is making a lot of confusions, because now we find Arunadatta explaining this jivanam as okay, yaha tu ayushaha niyada rupasya tameva maryadam anubadhanadi sa jivayati jivanam uchyade. Okay, fine, good, it's nice explanation. But the same Arunadatta, when going to doshad vijnaniyam, we will find jivanam as okay, oja vruddhigaram. Good, no problem. So here also it could have used, but here there is already a explanation that ojasam prashastaha. So that explanation is not required here. That is why he is trying to add this concept. That means which is making sure that the prescribed ayus is experienced. The prescribed ayus is experienced. That is jivanam. Then snigdham. It is snigdham. Then pittanila vishapaha. Pitta anila vishapaha. Apaha, which is something pacifies, shamanam karodi or something like that. So it is pitta shamanaha, it is anila shamanaha, vishaknaha. Madhura rasa is pittahara, anilahara and vishahara. Actually, that is the vishaharatvam is something very unique, but that pitta anilaharatvam, we are getting it from whatever is explained so far. So madhura rasa karma is explained like karmani madhuro rasaha ajanma satmyat kurude dhadunam prabalam balam balavruddha kshatakshina varna kesha indriya ojasam prashastah brahmana कण्ठ्यः स्तन्यसन्धानकृद्गुरुः आयुष्यो जीवनस्निग्धः पित्तानिलविशापः. Up to that. Next is something about the problems related to or coming as an outcome of the that we will read in our next session. So with this we conclude. I don't think that there will be much to explain or to go for a Q&A session. We will conclude now and we will meet again on our next session. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Prasad sir. As you said, we will conclude today and meet in our next session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Shubharatri to all.
Shubharatri, sir.